The Lady Vols have punched their ticket to the Women's College World Series for the 9th time in program history. They return to Oklahoma City after a decisive Game 3 win over Nebraska. 1-0 is your final, and Tennessee's defense certainly set the tone in this game. And for players like Carlin Pickens, who went to Oklahoma City, her freshman season for the Lady Vols now returns in her junior campaign. Yet it still remains a moment that feels like a dream come true.
I mean, going to the College World Series is something that, we've been dreaming of since we've been little girls. So I'm super excited to go back. We have a lot of goals to accomplish this year. We've accomplished a lot of them so far, and we're going to keep trekking on.
For head coach Karen Weekly, she's been to 8 Women's College World Series. This one still remains just as sweet.
I want them to go. I want them to experience this because they get 4 short years to do this. And sometimes when you go as a freshman, you think you're going to go every year, and it is really, really hard. I mean, I'll tell them this now. We never said it this weekend. The hardest thing you do in this game is super regionals. It is really, really hard. I'm just so happy for them.
And after the final out of the game, it was a sigh of relief from Carlin Pickens.
As soon as I saw the ball go up, I was like, job's done. Job is done. So, yeah, it was just so exciting to see her catch the ball and everyone run out of the dugout.
That sigh of relief at the end of the game wasn't without a few pressure moments earlier in the game where you felt maybe you were holding your breath, such as the 5th inning when Nebraska was able to get the bases loaded. And it's Karen Weekly after the game saying, she really felt at peace. We've heard her talk earlier this season and even back in regionals that she's learned her lesson. When you get into a bit of a bind on defense and Carlin Pickens is in the circle, you leave her in, mentioning the UCLA game, the last time maybe something similar like that happened, and where she says she learned her lesson. And for Carlin Pickens, she says, she didn't feel as peaceful as Karen Weekly might allude to that she did feel in that moment, but it was still a moment where she wanted the ball and she knew she'd be able to get the team out of it, and so she did, leaving the bases stranded.
Surprisingly for me, there's a lot of peace in a way because I just know what she's capable of. And you know what? If they'd run into something there, I know that she's going down with, she's not going to go down without a fight.
When you look at it from Nebraska's side, that was a prime opportunity to get one runner to score, to tie the game at 1 at least, and they were unable to do that because, as Nebraska will put it, they were simply out-executed by Carlin Pickens.
Pickens out-executed us in that moment. I mean, it came down to she got swings and misses, and we couldn't put the ball in play.
And the defense behind Carlin Pickens was absolutely the difference maker in this game. You compare that from a Game 1 loss where you can maybe look to the defense as to why that loss happened, and you look to Game 3 where it was absolutely the defense that was the difference maker, and they set the tone early in this game. You could look to Ella Dodge in the 1st inning where she made a diving move to the ground to snag the ball with one hand on the ground, able to throw it to first to McKenna Gibson to get the tag there. Later in the game, it's, Kinsley Fieldler diving at the Lady Vols logo with one hand, and she's able to make that snag. Laura Mueller late in the game, a couple of clutch plays to first base to get a couple of outs there, and it was the defense that was the difference in this game.
First few outs of the inning is really important, and we know the top of their lineup was threatening all weekend, so just really doing anything we can to get the outs. And the middles, me and Laura tell each other nothing through, so just talking about that beforehand, and then just being able to help keep the pressure off Carr. And Alana throwing that ball in was like, they're not going to try that again, so.
And when everything was said and done after this super regional series, there's no question that this environment and the matchups, you look at it from the circle alone and Carlin Pickens and Nebraska's Jordy Ball, that it was a College World Series type of feeling. To get past that point, to return to the College World Series is a feat that they are overjoyed by. And you can see that by the Gatorade shower that returned to Sherry Parker Lee Stadium, and even better, the gritty that Karen Weekly once again hit.
Oh, wow, what a loaded question.
It's digressed, I can tell you that.
I would say Karen's beauty has gotten better. She actually, I don't know if you saw, like, she mentioned backwards today. So maybe we'll have a new dance move coming out soon.
Moonwalk/gritty.
Yeah.
Last question.
They don't even know what
Better
moonwalk
than mine,
is.
probably.
Yeah.
We do.
So the vibes and energy are certainly high at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium as they get ready for a relatively quick turnaround as their season stays alive after a decisive Game 3 win over Nebraska to return to the Women's College World Series. We'll have so much more following this game and ahead of their matchup later this week. So certainly make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those conversations. I'll talk to you guys later.
It's important to make the right decisions, like when to go for it on 4th down, or when to kick the field goal or go for the touchdown. It's also important to make the right insurance decisions too. That's why my office, Trey McAdams State Farm, is here to help you select the right protection at the right price. Our office will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect when the unexpected happens. With Trey McAdams State Farm, it's easy to make the right call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Proud sponsor of the Tennessee Vols.